Okay, we appear to be back. Oh, I need to bring up one more thing, because I should have shooting stars tonight. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so I have my house next to the pier just because there's some fish who only spawn there, and I would like to catch them, and I'm kind of lazy. The cannon is from helping out Pirate Gulliver, and I have a ton of different models on my island. The oarfish, these are all of the fin fish, the great white shark, hammerhead, sunfish, whale shark. This is a coelacanth, which you can only catch when it's raining, but it's available all year. Oh, this is one of my villagers. His name is Sprocket. He's a robot ostrich. This is my little garden of all the different kinds of fruit trees. And I've got some more models for bugs. Got the Statue of Liberty, Godzilla, and a Japanese pagoda. I found this out fairly recently, but Godzilla will actually do things if you click on him. But, as it is 9:09, I should have 5 shooting stars. Yeah, you can get him from the resident services. But there is a lovely app that I downloaded quite a while ago called Meteonook that if you sync it to your island's weather, it'll actually tell you down to the second when you'll get shooting stars. Oh, and I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at 11, not 9. Silly me. Alright, so this is what I did with one of my little areas. These are all models that I've made by catching fish or bugs. Sadly, you don't have as much control over putting models out in the world as you do in your house. Or I could turn them so they were easier to see. But for shooting stars, all you do is make sure you're not holding anything, and then you just press A when they show up. And there's usually 5 every minute. The big thing you want to keep an eye out for when you have shooting stars is there's an NPC named Celeste, who is a red owl, who will give you a recipe for something to make that uses shooting stars. I won't get her tonight, most likely, because I got her earlier in the week, and you usually only get one per week. So, there's our 5. I kind of did a thing where I have red and yellow flowers. Like over here I have mums, here I have lilies, and here I have hyacinths. This is actually a fake piece of art that you can get for the museum. You can tell it's fake because it's blue. This is the most morbid thing on my island, but it's my graveyard that I made for all of the villagers I don't have on my island anymore. I haven't gone through nearly this many, but it looks better when I fill it all out rather than just having it. This is another fake piece of art. I don't know, Coco. It looked cool. I like the way the old moss-covered tombstones look, so I kind of just kept going with it. But over here we have roses. Got orange trees here just because they were my starting fruit. Got some more tables for eventually putting up models. And this one I actually just finished today, but this is a brachiosaur model from the museum. I've got a T-Rex down here. These are all hybrid colors of flowers. The blue rose in the middle is the only one I've ever actually grown. I'll tell you what I mean by that in a minute. But this is the biggest dinosaur you can build, the Diplosaur. And I've got a Spinosaur and some pumpkins. All the weird monument stuff is all from Gulliver. I went with like newer looking benches over here just because it's the most recent thing that I've made. And if you look, the older lanterns that I have are the mossy colored ones, so since I built a new spot, I went with the new looking ones. But this is a Mr. Rossetti model. He has a little light on his helmet, and he is from the earlier Animal Crossings. This is actually the only one I've ever played. But I have these kind of little, somebody said like subway platforms here, which is pretty accurate. I just thought they looked neat. And then over here I've got gold tools. I'm still missing the gold shovel, but I'm not sure if I can get that or not because I think I've done the requirements. My UFO. Got a Triceratops next to, this is the campsite where random villagers will show up. I think I have to move that forward because I don't know if I can actually get villagers right now because of the Triceratops statue. But these are all the hybrid flower colors. We got hyacinths, windflowers, roses, mums, lilies, pansies, tulips, and cosmos. Purple tulip, by the way, took a long time to grow, but I think it turned out pretty well. This is Apollo, he's another one of my villagers. Marshall and Deidre. Deidre is actually fairly new. These are lilies of the valley, and you can only get them if you have a 5-star island. I think this is all the ones I can get, though. But since we have Coco in chat, I'll introduce you to Coco and Animal Cross. This is my favorite villager. She is incredible. I gave her a Princess Peach dress and she took it off right away, so I was kind of sad about that. I thought she looked really funny in it. This is from a new thing that just started this year on Animal Crossing. There's a carnival-style festival, and I have a little parade float from it. Yeah, it's after 9 o'clock, so Able Sisters is closed. This is the museum, and it has really cool looking areas for the different displays. I'm not going to show off the whole thing, but just a quick run around since I've got everything for it. But this is the fish area, and some of them have things that they added with the Sea Creatures update. And I'll show that off, just because some of them are kind of neat looking. This is the big tank. It has the sharks and most of the fish you can catch in the off the pier. The one I'm still missing is that mahi mahi. Yeah, it has really nice music too. But these are the sea creatures you can get. The little tubes are called Venus flower baskets. You've got the crabs, and then there's a sea pig, and I forget what the other one is. Yeah, the giant isopod. Yep. They're pretty big. Yeah, there's the spider crab. And then that big one back there is a snow crab, I think. Yeah, I think the tanks look really nice once you catch everything for them. Catching bugs was kind of a giant pain in the butt because there's a couple of months there that you have to catch, I think it's like 23 beetles of different kinds, and some of them are actually pretty rare to spawn, so there's the Atlas moth. That's one of my favorites. But if you look, there are some rather large beetles you can catch. Down here are the dragonflies, and the really neat thing about this area is depending on if it's day or night, different things are active. So since we're here at night, the dragonflies aren't really doing much. But you can see the scorpion and the tarantula are out and about, and possibly, but very unlikely, we might actually see a tarantula on my island wandering around. But the one thing I do want to show off that's actually kind of fun is this is one of the hardest places to finish unless you time travel, which I time traveled quite a bit to finish this part. These are all the rare art that you can get in the game. And I absolutely used a guide because some of them are real, some of them are fake, some of them are always real, but it really is just a pain to collect everything. Alright. We will show off my house for those of you who haven't seen it. And then that will probably be it for me for tonight, and we will go raid Jammy Whammy Games. But all of this is me having played this game for about a year. This is all decorations that I either made or got. These are all the bugs and the fish that I've got saved up to make into models. I need 2 more of this fish and 1 more of this fish, and I've got all the fish I'm probably going to make models out of. The string fish here, this is one that is very rare to get from Cliff Rivers. I just caught the 3rd one today. But this is a full set of the white rattan furniture, which is a color I really like. This bird cage here is actually a DIY, and the bird inside will change color depending on what color you make it. So, oh, and this is a 1-year anniversary cake for Animal Crossing. This is just a room that I made for fun. It's just got a bunch of random tools and stuff in it. This room uses the Imperial furniture, which is very expensive and hard to get all of one color. If you notice, the tables here are actually different colored versions of the ones I use for my models, just because I think they have a really nice design to them. I've got different little crowns I've gotten from things, and I'm trying to get an angle on them, but it doesn't look like I can get one. Oh, there we go. If you get a villager to like you enough, they will actually give you their photo, and I've got quite a few photos for different villagers. I'm still trying to get Coco's photo. She won't give it up. Alright, so we'll do the upstairs first. This is mostly gifts from a very good friend of mine named Cat's Meow. She was kind enough to help me get all 4 of these train sets. This background I really like. So if you notice, it's got like a cityscape at the very bottom. Yeah, let me know if you want one, Coco. I think I have at least 1 extra. There's actually a villager who has that. It's a black and white squirrel named Tasha. Alright, so this is my room full of random nonsense. There's a thing in May that the museum does where you can collect these plaques, and me being me, I've got plaques and trophies for all kinds of stuff. I play for about an hour every day, just because it helps me wake up in the morning before I go to work. But this is one of the hardest things to make in the game because you have to help Gulliver or Pirate Gulliver 30 times to get rusted parts. If you don't do the one where you don't help them and you just keep 5. But these are little trophies that I've gotten for having my house be very pretty. And this is one of the new Super Mario items, which is the Thwomp. He's kind of fun. And of course, this guy does something too. I'm going to build another one. That's the last thing I'm going to put in the basement. But this is one of the other new items for the Super Mario, is the warp pipe. The only problem with it is you can only link 2 spots absolutely. So since I've got this third warp pipe, because there's 3 places I want to go on my island, I have a 50-50 shot of going where I want to every time I use it. Oh, I was going to talk about blue roses, so one little tangent. Blue roses require so much work to do that I actually got one as a gift from a friend of mine. And once you have a flower of a certain color, it's really easy to clone it rather than grow it yourself. So I've got a ton of blue roses over here, and I've got a stripe of them over here, and those are all gifts. They are all flowers that a friend of mine gave me and I cloned. The only blue rose I've ever legitimately grown myself is over here. That's why it's in its own little spot, so I don't forget about it. But one of the things that they do every week is KK Slider will show up and play you a song. And I think this one is what it's called. And pretty much KK Slider showing up as you've won the game. If you only care about getting to him, it's actually not that hard to do. But this is kind of the theme song for the game. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got for tonight. I just wanted to show off the island because I figured Oxenfree wouldn't take the whole time, and it didn't. It was still really fun though. And we'll do a save once this is over and then go raid Jammy Whammy Games. So, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed Oxenfree as well. And next week we'll be playing the third viewer request game that I've gotten, which is going to be Monster Hunter Rise, which I am just so excited to play. I did the demo with a friend of mine. It was a blast. I'm terrible at it, and I cannot wait to actually learn how to play it. But there you go. That is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Thanks for the game. It was a lot of fun, Coco.